She broke a world record that stood for 9 years, but nobody paid her a single dollar until she was 35 years old. Let me tell you about Stacy-Ann King. Born July 17, 1983 in Trinidad. Small island, big cricket dreams. But here's the problem. She was a girl. And in Trinidad during the 80s and 90s, cricket was a man's game. The boys played in the streets. They got coaching. They got support. The girls? They got told to stay home. But Stacy-Ann didn't listen. She picked up a cricket bat anyway. She learned to bowl. Left arm medium pace. That's rare. Most bowlers are right-handed. Being left-handed gave her an advantage. The ball came at batters from a different angle. It confused them, made them uncomfortable, and she used that. She practiced every single day. No fancy academy, no special equipment, just pure determination. Trinidad loves cricket more than any other sport. It's their identity, their pride. But women's cricket? Nobody cared. No money in it, no fame, no future. Yet Stacy-Ann kept going. She played for Trinidad and Tobago in domestic matches, year after year, proving herself, making people notice, waiting for her chance. That chance came on June 24, 2008. Dublin, Ireland. She was 24 years old. Her first international match for the West Indies, one-day international against Ireland women. This was everything. Her whole life led to this moment, and she didn't waste it. She took 2 wickets in 4 overs, scored 20 runs, hit 1 6, hit 1 boundary. For a debut match, that's incredible. She announced herself to the world. Now here's where most cricket stories would talk about fame and money and success. But that's not what happened. Stacy-Ann started playing international cricket in 2008. She would play for 11 years. 75 one-day internationals, 86 2020 internationals. That's 161 matches total. 161 times wearing the West Indies jersey. 161 times representing the Caribbean. And for most of those years, she got nothing. No contract, no salary, no security. She worked another job. A physical trainer at a security company in Trinidad. Think about that. She's playing cricket for her country, traveling the world, competing against the best. And she still needs another job to pay bills. That's the reality of women's cricket. That's the sacrifice nobody talks about. She did it anyway because she loved the game, because she believed in herself, because quitting wasn't in her DNA. 2 years into her international career, something special happened. October 16, 2010, Potchefstroom, South Africa, West Indies versus Netherlands, Women's 2020 International. Stacy-Ann walked out to bat with her teammate Tremaine Smart. They were batting at number 3 and 4. Their team needed runs. They needed a partnership. They needed someone to take control, and they did exactly that. They put together 124 runs together, 124 runs for the 3rd wicket. In 2020 cricket, that's massive. 2020 is fast, aggressive, wickets fall quickly, but not this time. These 2 women built something beautiful. They communicated perfectly, ran between wickets like clockwork, found boundaries at the right moments, absorbed pressure, turned it into power. When they finally got out, they had done something historic. They set a new world record, highest 3rd wicket partnership in women's 2020 international cricket history. 124 runs, the whole cricket world noticed. Their names went into the record books. ESPN covered it. Cricket websites wrote about it. Social media exploded. Stacy-Ann King from Trinidad had just made history. But here's the most amazing part. That record stood for 9 years. 9 full years. From 2010 to 2019. Every women's cricket team in the world tried to break it. England tried. Australia tried. India tried. New Zealand tried. Nobody could do it. For 9 years, Stacy-Ann King's name stayed at the top. Even today in 2025, it's still the 3rd highest partnership for that wicket. That's not luck. That's greatness. That's legacy. You'd think after setting a world record, things would change for her. Maybe sponsorships, maybe better pay, maybe recognition. But nothing changed. She kept playing, kept performing, kept representing the West Indies, still working that other job, still grinding, still hoping that one day the system would catch up, that one day women's cricket would get the respect it deserved. The years passed. 2011, 2012, 2013. She played through all of it. Sometimes she scored runs. Sometimes she took wickets. Sometimes she had quiet matches. But she was always there, always reliable, always professional. Coaches knew they could count on her. Teammates trusted her. She became the backbone of the team. Not always the star, but always present, always contributing. During all this time, she made another decision. A smart decision. A decision that would change her life. She enrolled at the University of Trinidad and Tobago, started studying for a bachelor's degree in sports studies, while playing international cricket, while working another job, while traveling for matches. She found time to study, found time for assignments, found time for exams. Most people can't handle one career properly. She was managing 3 things at once: cricket, work, education. That takes incredible discipline, incredible time management, incredible sacrifice. She wasn't going to parties, wasn't relaxing on weekends. Every minute was planned. Every hour was used. She knew cricket wouldn't last forever. She was preparing for life after sport. She was thinking ahead while everyone else was living in the moment. The West Indies women's cricket team kept evolving. New players came in, young faces, fresh talent. But Stacy-Ann remained. She was now the experienced one, the veteran, the player who had seen it all. She mentored younger players, shared her knowledge, helped them adjust to international cricket. She became more than just a player. She became a leader, a role model, someone others looked up to. Then came 2019, July specifically, after 150-plus international matches, after 11 years of service, after that world record, after all those runs and wickets, Cricket West Indies finally gave her something she deserved years earlier, a central contract. Her first one at 35 years old. Most players get contracts in their 20s. She got hers at 35, after everything she'd already achieved. Some people might feel angry about that, bitter, resentful, but Stacy-Ann saw it differently. She saw it as validation. Finally, the system recognized her value. Finally, she was officially contracted. Finally, there was acknowledgement. She could have complained about the timing, could have spoken about the injustice, but that wasn't her style. She accepted it, appreciated it, and kept moving forward. But here's the twist nobody saw coming. That same year, 2019, she made a big decision. She retired from international cricket, 36 years old, fresh off her first contract, and she walked away, ended her career, closed that chapter. Some people thought it was strange timing. Why retire right after getting a contract? But Stacy-Ann knew exactly what she was doing. She had given cricket everything. 11 years, 161 matches, a world record, countless memories, friendships that would last forever, experiences in different countries. She'd represented the Caribbean with pride and passion. But she also knew when to stop. She knew there was another chapter waiting, another dream to chase, another goal to achieve. In 2020, Stacy-Ann King graduated from the University of Trinidad and Tobago, bachelor's degree in sports studies. She was 37 years old, a university graduate, a world record holder, a veteran of 161 international matches, and now educated for whatever came next. She had successfully transitioned from athlete to scholar, from cricketer to graduate, from sports star to educated professional. Let's talk about what that journey really means. She started as a young girl in Trinidad who just wanted to play cricket. Society told her no. She played anyway. She worked her way up through domestic cricket, got her international debut at 24, set a world record at 27, played until 36, graduated at 37. Every single step was earned. Nothing was given. Nothing was easy. But she did it all. Now it's 2025, 6 years since she retired from cricket. She's 41 years old, living in Trinidad, connected to the cricket community but living quietly. She has an Instagram account, about 2,500 followers, posts occasionally. Nothing flashy, no desperate grabs for attention, just living her life, enjoying her privacy. Being Stacy-Ann the person, not Stacy-Ann the cricketer. And maybe that's the most powerful part of her story. She doesn't need constant attention, doesn't need to stay in the spotlight, doesn't need to remind everyone of what she achieved. Her record speaks for itself. Her career speaks for itself. Her degree speaks for itself. She built a legacy through action, not words, through consistency, not hype, through real achievements, not fake headlines. Because here's something important you need to know. The internet is full of lies, Fake stories, exaggerated claims. You might see headlines about her having millions of dollars, real estate empires, fashion businesses, multiple properties, designer collections. None of that is true. None of it is verified. None of it exists in any official record. It's all made up to get clicks, to get views, to fool people. The real Stacy-Ann King story is actually better than any fake headline. Because it's true. Because it's inspiring without being invented. Because it shows real struggle and real triumph. She didn't become a millionaire. She didn't build a business empire. She didn't get rich from cricket. But she became something more valuable. She became proof. Proof that Caribbean women can compete internationally. Proof that dedication beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Proof that education and athletics can coexist. Proof that legacy isn't about money, it's about impact. Every young girl in Trinidad who plays cricket today benefits from Stacy-Ann's journey. Every left-handed bowler who dreams big has her as an example. Every woman who wants to balance sports and education has a blueprint. Every person who feels overlooked and underappreciated can look at her career and find hope. That's worth more than any bank account. That's worth more than any mansion. That's real wealth. Her world record partnership stood for 9 years. Think about that. Nearly a decade where nobody in the world could match what she did. England couldn't do it. Australia couldn't do it. India couldn't do it. The best teams with the best players and the best resources couldn't break her record. A girl from Trinidad with no fancy training and no financial support held a world record for 9 years. That's not a story about money. That's a story about heart, about skill, about partnership, about seizing your moment when it comes. She played 161 international matches without a contract for most of her career. She worked another job to support herself. She studied for a university degree while competing at the highest level. She retired with dignity. She graduated with pride. She lives quietly now, but her impact lives loudly in everyone she inspired. That's the real Stacy-Ann King. That's the story that deserves to be told. That's the truth that's more powerful than any manufactured headline. So when you see those fake articles claiming she's worth millions, ignore them. When you see headlines about fashion empires and real estate portfolios, scroll past them. They're trying to make her story fit a template. Rich athlete, luxury lifestyle, material success. But her story is better than that template. Her story is about something money can't buy. Respect, legacy, impact, inspiration. The kind of wealth that grows over time instead of shrinking. The kind of success that improves other people's lives instead of just your own. Stacy-Ann King showed us that you don't need permission to chase your dreams. You don't need perfect circumstances to achieve greatness. You don't need early recognition to build a legacy. You just need commitment, consistency, courage, the willingness to show up every single day even when nobody's watching, even when nobody's paying you, even when nobody's celebrating you. You show up anyway. You do the work anyway. You believe anyway. Her career lasted 11 years at the international level, but her impact will last forever. Because records can be broken, but inspiration can't. Statistics can be surpassed, but stories can't. Numbers fade, but legacy remains. And Stacy-Ann King's legacy is this. She proved that a girl from Trinidad with nothing but determination can stand on the world stage and make history. She proved that women's cricket matters. She proved that education and athletics strengthen each other. She proved that real success is measured in impact, not income. That's the story. That's the truth. That's Stacy-Ann Camille-Ann King, world record holder, university graduate, West Indies legend, role model, inspiration, and most importantly, proof that your circumstances don't determine your destiny. Your choices do. If her story teaches us anything, it's this. Start now with what you have. Work harder than everyone else. Stay consistent when others quit. Invest in your future while living your present. And measure your success by the lives you touch, not the money you make.